I just want to say my heart feels really happy today. I hope y'all's does. You know, we as Unitarian Universalists, we really embrace our living tradition. And sometimes you may have heard this phrase echoing around. I don't know, maybe it's just a seminary or ministerial thing. Revelation is not sealed. Raise your hand or talk in the chat if you've heard that before. Oh, look, it's new to y'all. Okay, most of y'all. All right. Well, starting today, you're going to hear it a lot. Revelation is not sealed. This is actually a really important theological perspective in our faith tradition. And it helps remind us that just when we think we know everything, or most things, or a lot of things, we actually don't. There is and always will be more to our lives, our situations, our relationships, our futures. Here in this congregation, we read our mission every Sunday together in unison, and we just did so. And one part of that mission is that we hope to transform ourselves and our world. For me, it is a practical reminder, that statement, to embrace our theology that revelation is not sealed, but rather is an ongoing process in which we are encouraged to engage. I haven't always, nor do I always, continue to embrace the unknown. Often the unimaginable are the places where my nightmares reside. I remember as a child laying in a bed with my sister Michelle. Hey Michelle, I know you watch. As a child, and thinking about when I first learned about the origins of the universe, and it's apparent, Les, you can talk to me later about this, whether this is physically true or not. It's always expanding nature. And I remember feeling this odd mix of feelings in my 8-year-old mind. It was a mix of terror, euphoria, and the smallness in the face of this vast concept of the universe's ever expansion. Well, it turns out that people way more familiar with emotions than myself, researchers in fact, label that emotion awe. This could be in justice-related activities or spiritually focused efforts in our community where we maybe start to tap into that experience of awe in our faith journey. It doesn't really matter how or when or even if you've felt this emotion before, but I think we've all probably in the human experience had those moments where the unknown or change can feel so insurmountable, scary even. Author and Black queer pleasure activist Adrienne Maree Brown, in her work, Emergent Strategies, Shaping Change and Changing Worlds, asks us as readers to ponder the following questions. What if the unknown is not to be feared after all, but rather to be embraced as a source of infinite possibility? What if we saw the unknown as an invitation to learn, to grow, to create, or to change? For me, when I'm faced with those awe feelings from my childhood, I try and think about those questions that Adrienne Maree Brown is asking, and to see if any of those questions can ground me. The vastness of the unknown universe is not something that we should fear, but rather we should be curious about it. And this curiosity is really a fundamental sense. It's in fact the foundation of the scientific method that as a former researcher, I admire and embrace. And yes, even in my spiritual work today. I, like many of you, are on a spiritual journey to try and find my place in this world. and cultivate relationships that are mutually beneficial and hopefully profound in their ability to move everyone involved toward their more authentic and complete selves. Numerous psychological and sociological studies have documented that embracing uncertainty and ambiguity in life can actually lead to an increase of creativity, flexibility, and our adaptability as humans. Some specific psychological studies have concluded that when we are willing to entertain new ideas and explore unfamiliar territory, we are much more likely to find innovative solutions to problems and approach situations with open minds. Stepping outside of my comfort zones with a heart set of curiosity is, as Adrienne Maree Brown says, the spark that ignites change. When we approach the unknown with an open and inquisitive mind, we invite new ideas, perspectives, and experiences into our own. Another great strategy for dealing with these overwhelming awe feelings is to build a support system. Moving into unknown spaces can be super challenging, and it's really important to have people who we trust around us. People who are willing to offer encouragement, guidance, and practical help. And I believe that this congregation, I actually believe that many of our UU congregations, churches, and fellowships are those places. They are trying to build communities of support and comfort. It amazes me how much the simple act of singing a song with one another can really ground and provide comfort. I feel that here on Sundays, and I know that it reminds me of when we sing here on Sundays, when I used to sing my sisters to sleep all those years ago. Every time those awe feelings would come into my being, I would just open my mouth and sing us to sleep. And there was some kind of comfort in that simple act. Revelation is not sealed. The holy is always revealing itself to us, and as such, we are never finished growing. We will always encounter new challenges and opportunities for growth, both individually and collectively. Mythologist and philosopher Joseph Campbell said, "We must be willing to get rid of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us." In the words again of Adrienne Maree Brown, may we be the ones who know that the unknown is not something to be feared or avoided, but a space of infinite possibility and potential. Let us embrace it with curiosity and courage, so that we may create the conditions for emergent strategies to begin and for transformative change to occur. Come, let us worship together.